Conscious use of self is not easy. Our automatic reactions are so easy and useful in the routine of life, except when they're not. Understanding the machinery of our automatic responses can help us recognize them and then make conscious choices. That is the essence of conscious use of self. I'm Dr. Michael Brewer, CEO of the Center for Human Systems. I help executives, teams, and leaders succeed. Let me be your leadership and team guru too. In this video, we will explore the machinery of our minds on behalf of gaining conscious choice over it. We'll use a PowerPoint slide deck to do so. All right, here's how the mind works. First, we have the mind. Our minds typically are not very empty, so now we have the records that our minds are full of. Some of them have red flags on them. We'll get to what that's about shortly. So, those records are made up of our past experiences. For example, I was 2 or 3 years old and was curious, like most toddlers, and I was asking my mother, "Oh, where does the light come from?" She says, "From electricity." So I said, "Well, where does electricity comes from?" And she walks out of the kitchen. But my older brother, he was 6 or 7 then, he says, "Michael, you want to know where electricity comes from?" "Yeah." And he hands me one of my mother's bobby pins and says, "Stick it in that hole in the wall." And so I do. And yes, I have a past experience of electricity. And one of my brother too. And of course, that experience was a dangerous one, so it has a red flag on it. Now, when we play back these records, the dangerous ones, the threatening ones have red flags on them, and they will be played first. They are, that's a function of how we survive. Now, our records are also made up of community teachings, such as, I was taught to look both ways before you cross the street, because if you get hit by a car, that'll hurt or you'll be killed. Now, I've never had that experience. I've never seen anyone get hit. I've seen it on TV, of course, but I know that's fake. But I trust what I've been taught to be fact. So that's a very firmly held belief that if I get hit by a car, I'll be hurt badly. Now, the other thing that is in our minds are stuff that we've made up. Like, I made up that my brother is not so nice a person. In fact, he's a dangerous person. Now, I find out later on he's not always so, but at the moment I made up that he was a dangerous person. So he's got red flags on it too. Now, if we add all those together, we have our beliefs about reality. Past experiences, community teachings, and stuff that we've made up. Now, in those records, however, there are many records that say that our beliefs are simply true. Keep that in mind, that many of the records simply say that our beliefs are true, that our beliefs represent facts. Now, so we have a new circle up. That represents now. So I'm back in front of teaching a course at Johns Hopkins University. And there's a dude in the back of the class nodding off. Now, so to know what that is, I have to scroll through these records in my mind to see which records most resemble this guy nodding off. And yeah, there's some records in there of me nodding off back when I was in college, listening to a professor who was boring me to tears. So that tells me that this guy nodding off in the back is bored with me. I notice I don't know that for a fact, but that's what my mind is saying. And my mind tells me that it knows what the truth is. So I treat that guy as if he is bored with me. And that's an insult. So that's a red flag record. So I holler at him, "Hey, dude, wake up back there. What's going on?" And he just gets embarrassed and apologizes and all that. So I'm satisfied that I've embarrassed him. So I now have reinforced. I put another record in there that documents that dudes falling asleep in class are, well, they're falling asleep because they are bored with the teacher. Now, the fact is, I don't have the foggiest idea if that is true or not. Isn't that interesting? So you can begin to see how the mind is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and where it simply puts more records of the same old back in there, proving once again that our mind is correct. Well, what can we do about that? Well, that's where conscious use of self comes in. Can we begin to consider that maybe our mind may not always be 100% accurate? And I really want to be a good teacher. So I'm wondering, is my mind telling me the truth that guy really thinks I'm boring? Do I really know that? Well, no, I don't really know that for a fact. So then why don't I ask? So I can be curious. And I ask him, "Sir, young man, you seem to be kind of sleepy. Are you bored with me? What's going on?" He said, "Oh, no, Doc. I just had a late night last night. I think what you're saying is fabulous. I just had a hard night last night, but I'm here. I'm okay." That's the only way that I can put new records in my mind, is through being curious, by making the conscious choice to be curious. Now, that sounds kind of easy, but our records are full of two caveats. What's our favorite saying about curiosity? It killed the cat. Now, on the surface, we're taught that it's good to be curious, but underneath, we know curiosity killed the cat. Mind your own business. Don't be nosy. Well, it gets worse than that even, because to be curious, we have to be ignorant. We have to not know. If I already know, there's no need for me to be curious. So hence, what does my mind say about not knowing and being ignorant, particularly if I'm a leader, and my mind says I'm supposed to already know? So now, being curious has got two strikes against it. So now we can see why conscious use of self is so difficult. First, the mind is a self-reinforcing mechanism, and conscious choice goes against the records of our mind that say, be careful about being curious, and it's not okay to be ignorant. That's what makes conscious use of self so difficult.
In summary, our minds are incredibly useful in the routine of life and when danger is afoot. However, they can miss the mark when things aren't working well and we need to create change, as leaders often need to. In important situations, do not trust your automatic responses. Instead, Treat them with a grain of salt. Be curious to find out what your mind would have you do, and if it would be an effective action for the immediate and current situation. Finally, beware your mind's negativity about curiosity and ignorance. Curiosity is really our primary tool for learning, in spite of our records that say it killed the cat and don't be nosy, mind your own business. Likewise, ignorance is of extraordinary value, as only through being ignorant are we willing to be curious, though our minds tell us that's not something we want to be. Please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe so you will be informed of new videos as they are published. Up next, we're going to take a deeper look at egos. We'll explore how to better manage our egos and ways to manage the egos of others. Exhorting people to leave their egos at the door simply doesn't help. They seem to be built into all of us. Bye.